Perfect World, Episode 187. Do you know how challenging it was for Shi Hao to cultivate his second immortal aura? He repeatedly faced eternal darkness, yet he persevered until the aura formed. But just as he succeeded, he found himself trapped in darkness once more. After 10 attempts, Shi Hao failed to cultivate the second aura, but he refused to give up. Baigui warned Shi Hao that this path would lead to certain death. Even the little Immortal King had failed. Yet, Shi Hao had no other choice. It was the only path he knew in this era. He explained that in ancient times, true immortals roamed the world, leaving behind various paths for future generations. However, in this era, they had to forge their own. Baigui acknowledged Shi Hao's accomplishment in cultivating even one immortal aura on this path, asking what more he could desire. Giving up and searching for another path was unrealistic. Baigui understood Shi Hao's determination and sighed, mentioning that the little Immortal King also had the opportunity to abandon this path, but didn't. The little Immortal King carried the burden of being one of the strongest, needing to perfect his path to join a crucial battle and turn the tides. Otherwise, he would perish on that battlefield. Shi Hao was deeply moved by this and felt sorry for the little Immortal King. He tried to glean more information from Baigui, but their discussion proved fruitless. Dashen Shi, growing impatient, prepared to strike Baigui, but the cunning turtle slipped into the remnants of the immortal formation for safety. Shi Hao gathered some sacred herbs, preparing to seclude himself in the human immortal palace. However, Baigui stopped him, revealing the chamber was closing as the opportunity had passed. Even the island wouldn't last. It would soon drift into the chaotic void currents. Before leaving, Baigui brazenly demanded gifts from Shi Hao, despite already extorting bright immortal gold, 2 drops of the elixir of immortality, and access to the stone shop. Shi Hao was outraged. He argued that he obtained the immortal gold to save Baigui, and 2 drops of the elixir was already too generous. As for the stone shop, he fought his way in himself. Baigui, ignoring Shi Hao's protests, then requested a few leaves from the blackheart herb and essence from the divine tree. The blackheart herb was distraught. It had already lost leaves to the little rabbit and the yellow butterfly, leaving it with only 9. Now, this young man wanted one too? After receiving the blackheart herb's essence, Shi Hao searched for the divine tree. However, Baigui advised against it, explaining that the tree was heavily injured and hadn't borne fruit yet. Nearby, the yellow butterfly, having already benefited from the divine tree's essence, fluttered around it, causing the tree to retreat in a hurry. By the way, Shi Hao suddenly thought, there should still be some mountain herbs left on this island, right? Meanwhile, inside a hidden mountain cave, Shi Hao's body burned with the flames of myriad paths. His heavenly cauldron roared as it was consumed by fire, chains of law wrapping around him. Half a month passed, and Shi Hao was on the verge of death. Even his heavenly cauldron had been pierced. He was forging his path with his very being, flesh burning translucent and blood pouring from his wounds. He had experienced this before, but never with such intensity. His vision dimmed as he felt his life force draining, slipping towards oblivion. Yet, he also sensed success was within reach. He could almost perceive it, a blurry outline of his second immortal aura. Maybe the little Immortal King felt this too, Shi Hao muttered to himself. Perhaps this is why he threw himself into the fire, falling into eternal darkness. He quickly banished the thought, refusing to be seduced by the allure of imminent enlightenment. Shi Hao retreated, the divine flames and chains of order vanishing. He sat alone in the cave, silently healing his wounds. He consumed a small amount of resurrection grass and other sacred herbs, slowly restoring his primal energy. A moment later, he began another attempt, but the result remained the same. Each time he neared success, his energy was utterly depleted, leaving him immobile. He couldn't fully condense the second immortal aura, and his body felt close to exploding. Despite the danger, Shi Hao remained lucid. He wouldn't give up. Shi Hao refused to be lulled into a false sense of security by the promise of imminent success. He recognized a gap remained, and reckless pursuit would likely lead to his demise. This scenario played out countless times. Each time Shi Hao hesitated at the precipice of a breakthrough, a hair's breadth away from transcending his limits. Each attempt ended in failure. It was only after completely exhausting his remaining sacred herbs that Shi Hao finally paused. Lost in thought, he questioned his own caution. Am I being too careful? Do I lack the courage to risk it all? After deep contemplation, Shi Hao decided to gamble everything. The myriad paths roared as flames consumed him, his body remaining motionless. Days blurred into nights. His heavenly cauldron shattered, his body charred black and covered in wounds. But Shi Hao persevered. Finally, as his vision faded, he saw it, the second immortal aura shimmering into existence. He gritted his teeth, fighting to maintain consciousness. With a buzz, his primordial spirit plunged into darkness, imprisoned within a cage of eternal night, cut off from the world. In that moment, Shi Hao found himself in a vast expanse. Countless stars twinkled, each teeming with life. Stars and beings stretched endlessly before him, a fleeting spectacle. Then, with a gasp, he was back. Consciousness snapped back into his ravaged body. Pain lanced through him, his primordial spirit felt shredded. But he was alive. He had survived. Or, Jun Tianjing would be killed on sight if he encountered them within the Immortal Valley. With that, Shi Hao and his group tore through the void, disappearing from sight. Throughout the small worlds of the Immortal Valley, people discussed Shi Hao and his alleged acquisition of Bai Gui, the immortal turtle, a direct result of the rumors spread by Jun Dao and the Divine Temple. Most alarmingly, even the natives of the Immortal Valley were disturbed, with numerous heavenly gods and patriarchs closely observing the unfolding events. That same day, Shi Hao embarked on a killing spree. Anyone affiliated with the Divine Temple, the Heavenly Kingdom, or Jun Tianjing met their end at his hand. Heads rolled and blood splattered. Shi Hao challenged the ancient prodigies of the Heavenly Kingdom, the ancient holy sons of the Divine Temple, and Jun Dao himself. He let his strength speak for itself, seeing no need to dignify their rumors with explanations. He had intended to enter seclusion after leaving the ancient herb garden, but their actions, painting him as the enemy, forced his hand. He embarked on a path of carnage, showing no mercy. His actions shook the various small worlds, stirring a significant storm. Even some ancient prodigies were alarmed. The Dragon Maiden, Changgongyan, Li Fan Ming, and others emerged from their secluded cultivation, seeking answers. Finally, Shi Hao prepared to enter seclusion himself. He entrusted the little rabbit and the others to the centaur race, with whom he had established a bond of friendship by gifting them a branch from the willow god. He trusted they would ensure their safety. Only Da Shen Shi and the yellow butterfly remained by his side, but they eventually parted ways. This time, Shi Hao was exceptionally cautious. No one, not even he himself, knew the name of the small world where he secluded himself. Da Shen Shi erected a protective formation outside his hidden location. Inside, Shi Hao sat in meditation, focusing on comprehending the great Tao and illuminating his own path. Drawing upon his 10 near-death experiences, he visualized both the little Immortal King's path and his own, meticulously comparing and contrasting them. Days turned into weeks as Shi Hao remained completely still, silent as a statue. Then one day, a glowing seed materialized in his hand as a raging inferno ignited around him. Primal energy swirled and heavenly laws descended. Flames representing myriad paths engulfed him, even searing his primordial spirit. The silence finally shattered. Outside, turmoil gripped the Immortal Valley. Those from the Divine Temple, the Heavenly Kingdom, and Jun Tianjing were driven mad, relentlessly searching for Shi Hao. Aware that he was at a critical juncture in his cultivation, they couldn't bear to see him progress further. They offered substantial rewards, promising astonishing compensation to anyone who could reveal his exact location. "Hey kid," Bai Gui warned, "don't push your luck, although you did help me out tremendously." His sentence was cut short by a miserable shriek echoing from afar. The lunar jade rabbit was chasing and gnawing on a divine herb. The other herbs panicked as the yellow butterfly flitted past, turning Bai Gui's face pale with anger. Finally, like an angry god, Bai Gui chased Shi Hao and his companions away. "I'm so full, I could live here forever," exclaimed the rabbit. "Get out of here now," Bai Gui roared. "You've already picked 10 types of herbs." "I only took 1 leaf and 1 petal from each," the rabbit defended. "I barely took anything." "I hate rabbits," Bai Gui fumed. "You bunch of bandits. Don't let me see you again." As soon as Shi Hao and his group emerged from their seclusion, rumors filled the air. Voices announced that Huang had experienced a significant transformation, obtaining an elixir of immortality from the ancient herb garden. Those from the divine temple spread their own version, claiming Huang had not only acquired Bai Gui, the immortal turtle, but also found and looted Zhen Huang's lair. Shi Hao's gaze turned icy, a monstrous killing intent emanating from him. It was clear these rumors aimed to make him a target, the center of attention. Shi Hao's appearance caused a huge uproar. While many questioned the rumors' validity, Jun Dao and those from the divine temple insisted on Shi Hao's great fortune. They argued there's no smoke without fire, having witnessed Shi Hao traversing the air, protecting Shui Lin and the others as they successfully navigated the chaotic void currents. Many stared at Shi Hao, their eyes burning with fervor. One person, however, revealed their hostility, and Shi Hao instantly froze them with a single finger, killing them instantly. Others, not daring to reveal themselves, lurked in the shadows, inciting conflict and attempting to turn the crowd against Shi Hao. Unrest brewed, peace seemed impossible. It was evident that anyone possessing the elixir of immortality and Zhen Huang's inheritance would become a target of envy. With a cold snort, Shi Hao unsheathed his Daluo immortal sword. A metallic ring echoed as brilliant golden light illuminated the sky, silencing the commotion. Shi Hao raised his hand and a sharp sword beam shot out, cleaving one of the rumor-mongers in half before they could even scream. Another swing of his sword unleashed a terrifying beam of light, cutting 2 more people in half. Blood rained down as primordial spirits scattered. In that instant, the restless crowd fell silent, finally grasping Huang's undeniable ruthlessness and formidable reputation. "If you want to spread discord," Shi Hao stated calmly, "you better be strong enough. If you don't want me to find you, you'd better have cultivated at least 1 immortal aura to protect yourself." Shi Hao declared that anyone from the heavenly kingdom, the divine temple, he quickly consumed more sacred herbs and retrieved 8 divine needles, 2 types of heavenly needles, to heal his broken body. As soon as he recovered, Shi Hao began again. Each attempt brought him closer to success. He could see the second immortal aura solidifying, bringing him precariously close to the edge between life and death. His body and primordial spirit endured countless cycles of burning and breaking. Through it all, Shi Hao grew stronger, capable of withstanding the flames of the myriad paths for longer periods. There were moments when he even found a strange solace in the inferno. The flames were no longer solely adversaries, but a force he could coexist with. It happened again. Flames engulfed Shi Hao's body. This time, instead of terrifying runes, magnificent scenes unfolded. Endless mountains, moons, and chaotic energy swirling around him. Shi Hao at the center was enveloped by a dazzling galaxy. Plants, trees, and all life forms materialized surrounding him. He transformed into a kunpeng, soaring through the starry expanse, wings cleaving the heavens. He became a sunset, stretching across the horizon, its fragmented beauty radiating warmth. He felt a surge of passion, his spirit journeying through the void, experiencing countless trials and tribulations. His body and soul were tempered by the flames. In that fleeting moment, he felt as if eons had passed. Returning to the present, he saw it. Outside his body, a pristine, white immortal aura was taking shape. Shi Hao pushed through the agony, knowing success was within reach. Dawn was breaking. He couldn't fail now. Moments later, his body neared its breaking point under the immense pressure. The flames of the myriad paths, though capable of moments of peace, were ultimately merciless. Now they erupted with full force. But in that crucible, Shi Hao saw it. The second immortal aura. It was as white as jade, hazy and mysterious. It had formed. He could hold on no longer. With a buzz, his primordial spirit was torn from his body, plunged back into the eternal cage of darkness. He had walked the path of death once more. Please give us a like and subscribe, fellow Taoists. Let's continue our chat in the next episode.